Hey folks, Species 7 here. How's everybody doing? Welcome back down to the farm. It has been a while and I do apologize. So we're just here checking the corn. And, well, piece of advice. Don't ever get out of your tractor in the middle of a cornfield around here. Because, oh, there it is. Okay. Hello? There. Yeah, we could have been a while trying to find our way out of here. Not this view's so great, but we'll do what we can. So how's everybody doing? It has been a while. And you may also realize this isn't Riverside. And you'd be absolutely right, it's not Riverside. And I don't know where I'm going here, whoa. But that's okay. We'll go off and have a look at the train, because looking at trains is pretty cool. This is a rather large cornfield. We're somewhere in Midwestern U.S. right now, actually. We was out at the farm the other day. I'm gonna climb out of this thing. So yeah, I was out at the farm the other day, and yeah, I was looking at some busted off tines on the cultivator, and all the dings and nicks that... Oh, having a peaceful protest here, are we, people? All the dings and nicks in the plow, and thinking, my God, these fields are rough. And car pulls in, kind of fancy looking thing. And a young fellow gets out, and rather pretty bride gets out the other side, and he says, would you consider selling the place? And I said, would you consider being more clear what the hell you're talking about, boy? And he said, well, we're tired of city life, and we want to start a little hobby farm, and we think your place would be ideal. I said, you do you? What sort of offer do you have in mind? Well, I won't get into the specifics, but let's just say it had more zeros than we had spare tires for our tractors. So I decided to take them up on it, and we sold our farm way out there in Riverside. We sold all of the equipment that went with it, and we're now sitting here. We've moved ourselves to the Midwestern U.S., bought ourselves a new farm, which I have not yet named, and we're going to start dealing with some wide open spaces. They offered a pretty ridiculous amount of money, and we took it. So this is where we are now. And quite frankly, we were just never going to make any money in that other place anyway. It was after 6 harvests apiece on the 2 fields we were given, and the third one that I created out of that big round bale of grass in the middle of nowhere. Finally worked my way up to where we could have bought ourselves a new harvester, combine harvester, and that was about it. So not terribly impressive. However, selling it managed to get us into this place with some pretty darn nice gear, I must say. Not sure why the fellow wanted to sell the place off, but we picked it up for about what we sold the other place left. Have to hire a worker or two to give us a hand here, and then we're good to go. Alright, well, enough of that crap. Now the real reason. Basically, the longer I played on that other farm, every time I added a piece of equipment, the frame rate started dropping. I was getting down to a point where while I was recording, I was dipping into 8 and 9 frames. That's not good. It really messes with the rendering because it looks even worse. And I've noticed, not just in my videos, but in pretty much anybody putting them out on YouTube, this doesn't tend to render all that well. Alright? There's a lot of issues with anti-aliasing, even with it turned on to 8, which mine is, and I do have a good high-end video card. It's capable of some pretty good smoothing. But you can see, it's not too bad, but you can see the distortion where the straight lines run parallel, and you move across, you can see the little distortion patterns. That gets accentuated on a YouTube video. On the other map, it was absolutely horrible. If you looked at even one of the sheds, it not only dropped the frame rate by 10 frames per sec, but it also just threw the anti-aliasing for a loop, which is probably what dropped the frame rates. Here, at least I can look across the roofs of the sheds. So, that and the fact that I did actually, as I said, harvest each of those fields about 6 times, and the total size of them is still so small that basically, after 6 complete harvests of everything we owned, the choice was we could buy one more field and then harvest everything, all 4 fields this time, one more time, and buy a cultivator, or a combine harvester of some size, or do that right off the bat. So I decided to do it right off the bat, and then that's about all. So now, the reason this farm is going to be a lot nicer. We should be able to move along quite quickly. We've got some reasonable gear to start with, but nothing too stupid. There's no missions, so we can't gain our extra money that way. We have to make it through farming, which we will do. So, now, the reason I haven't been around for a while, well, I kind of got involved in other things. I have always been a dedicated MMO player, if there's something worth playing, and I've played a lot of them, believe me. I was a World of Warcraft player for a number of years. The original Guild Wars I played for the better part of 4 or 5 years. There's been others. When Rift was released about two years ago, I guess, I played it from beta through original release and for almost a year afterwards. And then just recently they made me an offer to come back and check it out just before they went free to play. And basically what it allowed me to do was get back into the game on a patrons level for less than a monthly fee, and still get all the advantages of being a patron again, like the year or something worth of tickets that I'd put in previous to that, because Rift is a pay as you go. Hey there, single rooster dude, how you doing? I suppose you'd like a girlfriend or two, wouldn't you? Yeah. You got various bonuses. Well, here's the deal. I played for about 3 weeks and had enough, because Rift is a very grindy, very typical MMO. So, well, there you go. I'd played it before, and I quit after a year. I'd leveled 2 characters to max, and seen pretty much everything there was to see. I'm not a big PvPer. Not when it's just the usual MMO fare, where you're doing a raid, or you're, that sort of thing. Not particular. I like it in shooters and stuff, but, yeah. Where it's just a matter of who's got the best gear, and that's what all MMO endgames are about, let's face it, is who's got the best gear. It's time to give up. So, I thought, well, let's try something different. I happen to be a founding member in a little thing called Firefall, and again, they're just going to open beta. In fact, I think today was the first day of open beta. So, I decided that, having not played it for a while, I'd jump back in, see if they'd smooth some of the bumps out, and indeed they had, I'll give them that. So, I've been playing that a little bit, and it's not bad, it's different. If you played one of the really early betas, you may have found the game to be quite easy. Don't fool yourself, that has changed. The color just looked weird on that. Yeah, that has changed big time. Okay, the game is no longer easy, especially if you were thinking you were gonna solo it. But yeah, I've been playing that. It's one of those things, because it is a skill-based shooter. I don't know, maybe because I'm just an old gimpy dude, but I can only do those Twitch combat games for so long, and then I just sort of get a little bit worn out. But I have been playing that and quite enjoying it. Then there was one of the online sites that I deal with for gaming. I believe it was Green Man, although I almost quit those buggers forever there after their 666 sale screwed me over. But anyway, is that really what I see there? Is there just some kind of huge monster ditch here or something? Wow. They had a 66% off, I believe, on Defiance, that thing that's sort of running in line with the sci-fi series, right? So, and it's a shooter-type, Twitch-based shooter MMO, and not bad at all. So I started playing that for a while, and I'm still playing it, and it's, I don't know. Alright, truth be told, okay. Now, I don't know what the hell's going on there, but, Tryon Games are the people that are the publisher that's looking after it, okay? Now, Tryon also did Rift. And as far as the publishing end of it and the updating and all of that, really, really good. The support, when I started playing again after being out of it for as long as I was, I had one issue where I had to contact support because my old characters were basically locked. What happened was they'd changed servers since last time I played. The server my characters were on was now a test server for public betas. So I kind of needed to get them off of there, but they were locked because they hadn't been accessed for so long. It took one go with a live chat GM, like through support, not through in-game, but through support on their web page. They put you through to a live chat. And this is like 4 days before they go free to play, so they're busy. The guy had me completely straightened out in like half an hour. Where's your characters? What do you want me to do with them? Let me have a look. Yep, it all seems cool. There you go, it's done. Wow. So I start playing Defiance, because Tryon's backing them and blah blah blah. I mean, pretty much all the way down the line, the pedigree's pretty good. My honest opinion, after having put, well, less than a week into it, but a few hours of play, it's not very bloody good, you know? It could be so much fun, but it's rough. And even after all this time, it's still buggy. Like, the second mission in the entire game, you have to meet an NPC at a certain place, and then they carry on with you through the rest of the mission. Pretty common fare. Alright, I find the place. I find the NPC. The first place we move to, the NPC gets hopelessly stuck behind a barricade and cannot complete the rest of the mission. But it does trigger the next part of the mission. And that's it. I'm screwed because the NPC needs to code hack a door. I can't get into the building where the next part of the mission is. I have to actually log out of the game, log back in, find my way back to where I originally got the mission, and take it over again. Like, I had to quit the mission, obviously abandon it, and then find the original NPC that gave it to me and take the mission over. And this time I stayed the hell away from them and let them run way up ahead. Now, they got all shot up, but they can't die in the mission again. Pretty poor. But at least they didn't get stuck, and I completed it. But I've run into this sort of thing several times now, and it's just weird. So, because I'm a sucker for punishment, I was looking around and I noticed that they were also getting rid of packages to get into EVE Online. Now, if you're not aware of what EVE Online is an MMO as well. It's a space combat simulator RPG kinda empire builder, whatever MMO, and considered to have a learning curve that is vertical. In other words, the learning curve comes up against a straight wall and continues to climb upwards from there. You know what? It's one of the neatest things I've ever experienced. put together by a company called CCP, sorry, Crowd Control Productions. And it's amazing. It is so deep. It is so, like a lot of it you're picking around through text-based stuff, but at an interesting level that just keeps you going. And then it's not Twitch-based combat, but it's not click a button and spam skills either. You're continuously doing things. The missions are complex. The background lore is incredible. Yeah, all in all, just really impressive. So there you are. We didn't get one complete row, and we filled that Big Duke's harvester. So I guess now I got to find my way back to a tractor and trailer and come and fill this. But here we are. This is Midwest USA, and I think we're going to play around on this map for a while because I can actually show you something about Farming Simulator 2013. Because basically after doing all of those plantings, all of those harvestings, etc., on that other map, like I said, we could buy one new piece of gear and then do those same 3 fields. Or we could have bought one new field and then you would have had to wait another 10 days for me to do that 6 times to buy enough money. So here I think we're going to do well. We've already got 9,000 units of corn sitting in this thing ready to get rid of. So, but I think that's it. You know where we stand. You know what's going on. You know why I've been a slack boy and not being good. So, if you forgive me and you're going to continue to come and watch, well, I hope so. Until then, or until the next episode, I guess, this has been Species 7, Farming Simulator 2013. Take care of each other, folks, and ciao for now.